Well folks, it's sad but true. My feet are spreading as I get older and I need to buy new shoes. Well, that's my excuse. And this is DSW in New York, Union Square. And as you can see, it's an amazing shoe store. It's just literally a sea of shoes. It's really quite clever because you can just stand here and survey across the oceans of shoes. They're exactly what you want to go for. I'm not sure what DSW stands for. Maybe death by shoe wave or something. There's certainly a tsunami of shoes here. Of course, as a minimalist bike rider, I must roundly reject anything with a heel like this because I can't ride my bike easily with it. Something like this would be much more practical, especially for this weather. It's got to be waterproof. It would get caught in the spokes. Don't these styles make you look so of the land and so Canadian? Well, that's always a good idea. Take a photo of a boot with your cell phone so that you can go home and show your friends and ask them what they think. 40% off. But then that'd get grease all over them, wouldn't they? You know, anti-consumerists would make you feel guilty for wanting lots of shoes. And yes, I felt guilty too. I've been in Melbourne Marcos a couple of times in my life. But you know, sometimes you could think of shoes as being like underwear. Just another piece of clothing that you can then use until it's time to change. Well, I'm one person that believes that shoes are the most important piece of clothing because if you're unhappy down there, the rot rises to the top. You'll be unhappy here. I'm not sure why this shoe says kiss of death, but that's a very Caucasianized geisha. Okay, so now we've into the shoe foothills now, the lowlands with all the low heel shoes. Roxy, an Australian surfwear label, clearly branching out. Now this is what you need when you go to people's houses. You politely take off your shoes so you don't walk water and snow into their living room. You take your own pair of puffy little shoes like this. Of course in Japan you wouldn't be allowed to wear these either because you'd have to wear their slippers. People still wear that kind of thing? Yes, they do. Somehow I think UGG should just stick to doing their famous sheepskin boots. Interesting to look at brand name Soft, because these shoes are indeed soft. But I can't really understand Blowfish. I guess it looks like the sort of thing would swim out from under a rock, doesn't it? You can even buy an Emilio Pucci printed psychedelic rain boot like this for $199.95, or you can buy the pair that I'm wearing for $28. It's interesting how under this banner of designer shoes, they're most exclusively high heel, as if flat-heeled is dowdy. I have to say though, there's an overwhelming smell of PVC and other man-made materials. And of course it screams made in China. For all the Canadian kind of marketing imagery that I see on so many shoes, at the end of the day, it's still made in China. And of course, this is the latest rage, rocker shoes by Skechers or MTB. The only problem is they look very orthopedic. In the bargain racks here, you can even find a pair of the cliche Gucci loafers. 40% off that, about $100. It's even worth buying a pair just to put them next to your Tizio lamp and say, I got a pair of Gucci loafers. Just look plain dangerous. Well, I got myself a couple of pairs of 40% off shoes from DSW, Death by Shoe Wave or whatever it stands for. And actually, it's not as cold as it was earlier. It was bitterly cold. Seems to have warmed up. Maybe a bit of global warming's kicked in. So I'm actually sweating now, saving money by walking rather than taking the train, and actually wearing my $20 gumboots. So maybe we don't need this stuff, but hey, we're stimulating the economy.